man. Just give me like 10 seconds of what the BOP 5000 is, real quick.
It's a comprehensive strategic program to create an economic engine using home ownership, small business development, and the engagement of politics.
Woke up hungry, had to make a change, rearrange the way I made my change. I'm just trying to stop the sliding over drugs and gangs. Old school, shy vet, remember, let me bang. So glad my parents really ever let me hang. I'm a state Dre, shot Joe in the foot with a 30. After that, we kept seeing increases in the murder rate. Plus Planned Parenthood, help little mama terminate. All the guys serving in them gangways. Dick slide, everybody hit the gangways. Beat the case, but you still did 500 days. Sometimes it feel like we raps trapped up in a got the pilgrim experiment from back in the days. How the rap reflects our hood in so many ways. You know the alpha male winning. Women only concerned with the pampering and primping. Then all our kids become aggressors or some victims. A black man went missing, they dying or in prison. What a difference in outcome just based on how you living. I think it's time to change the vision, yeah. About 5,000, that's the mission, yeah. United we stand, no division, yeah. 5,000 times 1 million, yeah. We can own the blocks and live in the do the about 5,000 is the cheat code. Me and Ro out in the trenches going beast mode. And no, we ain't sleeping, keep that heat cold. Show you a path to a new life through the cheat code. Do the about 5,000 is the cheat code. Me and Ro out in these trenches going beast mode. And no, we ain't slipping, keep that heat cold. Show you a path to a new life through the cheat code. Dope things, damn cribs, they go vacant. They so addicted they can't take it, haunted by temptation. They decided they gon' take it, bust the window, yeah they break it, tear the walls from copper, take it. Owner find out and they hate it, hit with cold violation in a desperate situation. They just moved up out of state and ready to close the chapter, wait and close the deal. I got that cake and I just planned on me a vacation. Time to change administration, no need for long deliberation. I think it's time for liberation, time for us to rebuild our nation. Toast to this simple libation, give us free, I'm feeling Haitian. Whoever gets us free.
Today was an amazing day. I gave everything I had, and I wish you were here. That was the only thing that was missing. I want you to go out and purchase my new book. We have officially launched. I want to thank the team. I want to thank you, Bree, Dr. Shante, and all the people who made today possible. I feel really humbled by the support that I've gotten, the support that I received on Facebook, and the expected support from you out there, whoever is watching this and you still ain't bought the book. I'm going to speak in expectancy, and I thank you regardless. Thank you.
If you really want to know the truth, my vision is on the same magnitude as Elijah Muhammad or any one of those people. I see my life, I'm not trying to produce a religion, but I'm talking about a mass movement of black folks that gets on the radar.
Hey, good evening, family, and once again, one more time, welcome to another collaborative conversation around flipping that hood with BOP Project 5000, New Life Movement. It is I, the one and only Tony Kadir Alliance on the ones and twos. This evening, introducing none other than our mentor, Roland Davis, to get us going for another powerful conversation around just how we work together in unison to flip that hood. So as always, before we bring him out, just want to give a little bit of context of what we got going on, family. And before I get into that context, I would like to implore, I would like to ask, I would like to beg you guys to please, at your leisure, go back and listen to and watch some of the previous recordings that we've done around Flip That Hood, BOP Project 5000, because this is a developing conversation. Yes, this is a developing conversation. Nothing that we say is rehearsed. This is not staged. This is coming from our information, our education, our experience, and this is an ongoing process. This process is not new. This is a 20-year plus process of developing ties and relationships with different aspects of our community so that we are able to get into the trenches and put as many people into their first, second, third, fourth homes as possible. BOP Project 5000 is geared toward and hell bent on making as many people in our community as possible homeowners and investors in said community. I am so happy, and I would like to also take this opportunity to welcome all new members who has joined since the last time we aired last Tuesday. Every Tuesday at 7 o'clock Central Time, we are on live, carrying on said conversation around just how we flip that hood. I want you guys to go back and watch some of these, or watch all of them if you can, but watch some of these presentations that we've done, because we have built up the case around not just making money and building money or building wealth around flipping that hood, but also why it's necessary that we flip that hood. It's not just about money. It's not just about wealth. It's also about claiming and staking a claim on the land, on the communities, on the neighborhoods that we have grown up in or raised children in, or our parents have grown up in. A mainstay in the conversation around flipping that hood is the fact that gentrification is something that every single neighborhood and community in the United States of America is going to go through, or has already gone through, or is going to go through. And what we stand on and what we say is that we have to be a part of that gentrification. So we will not be priced out or pushed out of those very communities that we've grown up in, our parents have grown up in, or we've raised children in. Okay. And so we don't want to beat a dead horse around some of these issues and some of these reasons why, which is also why we should go back and look at some of these, because this is a building conversation. We'd also like to remind you that the #1 book right now that you should be focused on, especially if you want to be a part of this movement, is Fix and Flip, the cheat codes that Mr. Roland Davis has authored himself. And this is your initiation, if you will, your initiation into Flip That Hood. Purchase that book online. Of course, I've purchased my copy. And also, February 1st, mark your calendars. The date and the time, or the place and the time has yet to be announced, but it is for sure February 1st. The next time we will have a crash course on how to flip that hood. Okay, so you have to stay tuned. Make sure you mark your calendars, because that is going to be a banger, just like it was a couple of months ago. Once again, welcome all new members, and we would like to encourage you to take the next step. And I know Mr. Roland Davis has some things that he would like to say, but I want, at least for this initial part, the main focus right now is for you to decide what your next step is in flipping that hood. What is your next step? You say, right now, I've joined, I understand the vision, I see where it's going. Yes, I want to be a homeowner, or yes, I want to be an investor. What is my next step? And so I want to clarify for those who are ready to take their next step before we bring Brother Roland out is, #1, pat yourself on the back, because you are taking a huge and necessary step toward the next version, not of your life, but the next version of yourself. We want to use the new year 2025 to create a new life for ourselves. Okay, this is not just about buying a new home. This is about taking on a new life for yourself. I want you to tie buying your first home or your second home or investing in your next property with moving toward the next stage of your life in 2025. This is all a new movement around doing things in a brighter, a stronger, and a more resilient sense, so that we can carry on to the next stage after that, and the next stage after that. Growth, development, and refinement is the keys to building, not just buying property, but to building wealth. You have to have growth, you have to have development, and you have to refine yourself. And so what we want to do is tie all of this in with the energy of moving forward with a new life. okay, with an entire new life. And so with that being said, I want to reiterate that the next thing for you to do is to stay up an appointment. Okay, you have to schedule a consultation. If you are ready and you know and you understand the vision, we want you to reach out and we want you to schedule a consultation. Okay, there's nothing else for you to do. If you're clear about the vision, if you're clear and you're ready to become a homeowner, you're ready to become an investor, there's nothing else for you to do other than reach out. We right now have over 300 members in Flip That Hood, and that is awesome. Over 300 members as we speak right now today in Flip That Hood, and we want to start we want to make sure that you are being pushed. We want to make sure you're being nudged. We want to make sure you're being encouraged. We want to make sure you're being motivated, because there's nothing else for you to do than to get down. Two feet, 10 toes, reach out. Let's set these consultations. Let's just get you guys viewing some of these properties. All right, let's start taking you around so that you can see with your own eyes what's available. And we have a list of properties available right now that we can put our members in. All you have to do is take that next step to reach out and say, yes, show me this house. Yes, sit me down with Miss Patricia, who is working on repairing credit. Yes, sit me down with Roland, because I got this credit score. I got this in play. I got my 2 years history. All right, I got $1,000 down. I am ready. I am ready. There's nothing else to do, family, other than to get with the program. There's nothing else to do. And we want to make sure that we're moving with expediency, because we're constantly getting new houses and new properties. Constantly. So we want to make sure that just as quick as we get these properties in these houses, we have our members moving right in and taking over and taking responsibility and making their dreams reality. Okay, so there's nothing else for you to do other than to reach out. That's what I want you guys to do. Okay, before we bring Ron, one last thing: it's tax time. It is tax time. We're getting some money back, hopefully and prayerfully, right? You've spent the last 12 months busting your ASS on that job that you got, and it's time for these people to give you back your few chips. It's either 1,000, it's 2,000, 3,000. Some people got the codes on getting back certain amount of taxes, and they're getting $4,000 or $5,000 back. Okay, what we want you to do is to consider not blowing your dough. Don't blow your dough. Use that money to invest in your new home. Use that money to invest in your next piece of property. Use that money to invest in yourself. Use that money to fuel your new life in 2025. With that being said, I'm going to shut my mouth, because I got somebody else whose mouth they got to run. And that is my brother, my mentor, Mr. Roland Davis. Brother Roland Davis, how you on, son? Can you hear me?
Absolutely. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. Take it away, bro.
All right. Well, first of all, as usual, I want to give it back to you, brother. You inspire me and help me to overstand this vision each and every time that you share it from your perspective. So I want to encourage you, and I'm looking forward to being at the closing for the properties that we have in mind for you.
Yes,
So
sir.
you deserve every square foot
Yes,
of the
sir.
deals that God and we have in store for you. As Brother Kadir said, my name is Ro Davis. I'm the visionary and co-founder of BOP Project 5000. I'm also the author of Fix, Flip, Own, the cheat code to win at investing in real estate in the hood. And I am the creator of Flip That Hood, a crash course that develops developers. For those people who are looking at this movement, you're trying to sort through what we're talking about. What we're talking about is very simple. We want to create and are creating, because I want to speak in definitive terms, that we are creating an economic engine using home ownership and small business developments that will positively gentrify our communities. And what we have done is create a buy-in opportunity that gives every single person and member or facet within our community a role. There are people, when you look at our vision to create 5,000 safe, affordable homes, when you look at that vision and you consider just even what we intend to do this year, our goal this year is to create the first 500 of that 5,000 new homeowners and investors in our community. Now, we're starting here in Chicago, but our vision is to take this vision and plant that flag in every city where we launch our movement. But let's focus on the first 500 new homeowners and investors. When you look at the average home sale, whether it's a 2-flat, a 1 to 4 unit, etc., some gonna be less, some gonna be more. But on average, when you look at the fact that our average property value may be $300,000, when we say a 500 new homeowners, what we're saying is this year alone, our goal is to create $150 million economic engine. So my question to you is, how much of that engine do you want for yourself? Oftentimes we talk about generational wealth. Well, but that vision isn't SMART. SMART is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-based. What's unique about this vision and this conversation that we're having with Project 5000 is that you can create a SMART goal around our objective. You can create a specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-based goal that will position you and your family towards creating generational wealth. And it begins with home ownership. It begins with deciding that in addition to my own home, I want to help create a home for families that are in transition. I want to refer to every renter as a homeowner in transition, because our goal is to create 5,000, and that's just the first 5,000, to the first 10,000, to the first 100,000. See, it's not enough for us to want to just live in these homes. These homes have the power to create serious wealth for the people who buy into this movement. Somebody's going to get a painting contract that's going to change their family forever. Somebody is going to get a plumbing contract. Somebody is going to get a window contract. There are people who are going to look at this moment in time as a defining moment that changed the trajectory of their entire family. There are some people who are going to simply become homeowners and investors. And they're going to look back to this moment in history. And I want to clarify, we're making history. You are part of history. This movement, this moment, this broadcast is history in the making. And I want to carry it just like that. This economic engine is not an engine to make Roe rich. Roe is already a millionaire. And I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you what it is. This is my third time. I'm proud to announce, I haven't even said it to people, but because of my real estate holdings, I don't have $1 million in cash. It's in my real estate bank. So I have enough equity now that I am officially a millionaire. Now, I don't say that to impress you, just to impress upon you that if I can do it, you can do it too. How am I so sure that you can do it? Because I've created a blueprint. That's what has been the catalyst behind me writing my book, Fix, Flip, Own, the cheat code. That has been the catalyst behind creating and digitizing my crash course, Flip That Hood. See, when I talk about creating 500 homeowners, and you say, well, how you going to do that? Because I'm not the only one that's going to do that. I'm counting on you to not only buy these homes, but I want to convert those people who are homeowners into investors. But it begins with home ownership. Everybody who listens and watches this call, I want to challenge you. Decide to buy, not tomorrow, but today. We have a team. And that's one of the things I'm so proud of today. I've been doing this movement and been a part of it. Brother Kandia can tell you this is a 20-plus-year-old movement. We had a team back before 2007, but never a team with such clarity, with such expertise, who was squarely focused, on helping you achieve generational wealth as the team that we have in place today. I don't need good credit. I don't need bad credit. I don't need any credit. What I need is your decision. I need your choice. I need you to make a commitment that without a shadow of a doubt, you're going to join this movement and bring to it an impenetrable sense of brotherhood and sisterhood. I want to know that you look at the conditions that we face as a people. Look at your condition, your financial outlook, and you are dissatisfied. In fact, I want you to be mad as hell. So mad that the only and final reconciliation is that you decide that if this thing is going to change for me and my community, then I have to be that change. Those are the only requirements. That is your mental and financial capital to be a part of that. We got everything else, because whether you got good credit and money, all the way down to bad credit and no money, there's a place for you here in this movement. But it begins with a choice. You must join this movement, which is really a ministry. You see the New Life movement here and on our documents. This is more than a movement, it's our ministry. Now, this is not about being a Christian, a Muslim, a Buddhist, any type of ministry like that. My ministry is the economic development and the sovereignty of our communities in every underserved area across this country and in the world. That's my ministry. And your ministry must be to bring your family and your household together and to organize so that we leave nobody behind who's ready to go. You got to take this message and go into the dens and the living rooms of the subconscious mind of the people that you love and the people that you will attract. Post you knowing and sharing the good news. And what's the good news? Not that we have gone to some other place and that we're going to die and get rich one day in the sky. But the good news is that we have found the land, the promise of our children's children's children, and our ancestors have always rallied around not the promised sky, but the promised land. And inside that land is the promise of wealth, not just for me or Brother Kadir, Dr. Shante, or even Bree, but the wealth for everybody who's willing to become a homeowner as a first major step towards economic sovereignty and generational wealth. And with that, I want to encourage you to make an appointment so that we can take a look at your credentials, see where you are today, and more importantly, it's not where you're at, but where you're headed. We want to give you a blueprint to take you from renting or living in your mama's basement or wherever your situation is and take you into the home that we're going to sign and shake hands together when you decide that you're ready to make that commitment. So that's my part on home ownership today. Take it back over, Brother Kadir.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, man, this is this is the time. This is the time, family. I like Pharrell. I know this is totally off the marker, but Pharrell Williams, the artist, the musician. I recently took my daughter to see his Lego movie, and I encourage everyone who has not seen. I think it's called Block by Block or Brick by Brick, but just look up Pharrell Williams, the Lego movie. I encourage everyone to see that movie. The movie is phenomenal. It's heartwarming. It gives a backstory to a person who has had a very interesting and intriguing climb to stardom and to fame. But his relationship with music and his relationship with community and community uplift is one of the more striking characteristics of that film. The soundtrack is off the hook or off the heezel, as Snoop would say. But most importantly, Pharrell Williams put on my mind something very profound, and he spoke about his youth and the way he related to his blackness. Okay, I don't want to give too much of it away, so I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna say, please watch that movie, watch that film. But he also shared something on Facebook, or I caught it on Facebook just recently, and he said it was time for more of our people to support each other's businesses, to rally together and to build together and to put their finances together for a better tomorrow for their progeny and posterity. And I believe that this isn't enough of a mantra today, and I think we need to drive this home just a little more because I like to enjoy myself. I like to party, and I'm getting older, and a lot of that is kind of toned down, of course. But I think we get too much caught up into who we are as individuals, as opposed to who we are as a community, who we are as a people, and who we are as parents, continuing a legacy and continuing a bloodline. And there are certain responsibilities that come along with that. And oftentimes we don't think about these responsibilities until we are older in age. And when we haven't met these responsibilities enough, we're at an age where we have less time to do something about correcting and sufficing for those responsibilities. So I would encourage everybody to, while we're thinking about self, while we're thinking about our own individual careers and what we like to do, and me, remember that you are a part of a community. Remember that you are a part of a people. And remember, especially if you are a parent, that you have a responsibility to build, to guide, to strengthen, to lead, and to leave something for those children that we brought into this world. All right. It's been a wonderful day, family. It's been a wonderful week. And I am super excited about the opportunities that we have in store, baby. And I have to say this as well. Ro often speaks in the now in terms of what is going on and what BOP Project 5000 is all about. Often he leaves out the stress, and I'm going to stress it now, that this is already happening. This is an ongoing process. He can correct me if I'm wrong, but there's been a handful of people who he has helped put into their first or their second. I can't call it for sure, but this is activity that is ongoing. We're not going to put people. We're going to put people in their first, second houses, third or fourth properties, but the thing is that this is already going on. There are closings constantly happening, is what I'm trying to stress to you. This has been going on. He speaks about how proud he is about having this centralized team, but aside of that, he's been banging this out by himself with little or no help. All right, this is an ongoing process. I told you we've been at it for at least 20 years or so. All right. And so this isn't something new. This isn't a new group of people attempting to reinvent the wheel. This is a man who has been doing this for the last 20 or so years. When he says he has the cheat codes, he has the cheat codes, man. He has the ability to go over the fence, under the fence, around the fence, through the fence. These barriers to, or I should say these traditional barriers to the common person becoming a homeowner or becoming an investor, he has the ways around those. Because of course, anyone, family, and when I tell you anybody making $150,000 a year, 710 credit score on their job or their profession, 5 or 6 years, easy for them to go somewhere and grab a house, 2 houses, 3 houses. Okay, very easy. That is not the common person. And what Flip That Hood is geared toward is the common person, the person who is not making $150,000 a year, the person who does not have the 710, 750 credit score, the person who has not been on the job for 10, 12, 15 years. Even though you don't fit that criteria, you still deserve home ownership. You still deserve the ability and the opportunity to become an investor. You still deserve to move from one economic bracket to the next. Just because you haven't achieved those perimeters that make it easy for you to slide into real estate does not mean that you do not deserve it, brothers and sisters. And so Flip That Hood is designed for you, the common person who needs that assistance, who needs that guidance, who needs that cheat code, who needs the opportunity to be able to just put $1,000 down and move into a house, to show up with a 640, 650 credit score, 2 years of work history, and be able to say, yes, I want to be a homeowner. Yes, I want to be an investor. You deserve that. And Project 5000 is here for you. Absolutely speaking. Dr. Shantae, you have anything you want to add? I see your face popping up there. Peace and love. What is going on, Dr. Shantae?
Hi, Minister Tony. What's happening? I was just over here just laughing at my dog. And, everything that you guys have been saying. And we certainly, I was amazed at the group number size that you mentioned earlier. That is amazing. Amazing. So, I mean, I am proud of all of you all. You all were working to get that group together. I was just reposting to the group, the live stream, and I see the engagement. It's truly encouraging. And so I am lost for words, really, because just to see this momentum, so it is such an exciting time, and so we can't wait to get everybody their gold pins, their first closing pin.
Yes, right.
And we're getting those sites ready. So everybody make sure that they just, that we're part of your notifications, that our group, that the page is part of your notifications, because we have these deals coming for people who want to be investors, for those of you that want to be homeowners. And part of that is one, believing that you can be, that we're talking to you in that conversation. I was talking to a young person that was about 19 or 20 years old about some of the things here, and she said to me, well, Can I do that at my age? Absolutely. I wish
Oh, right,
told me at 19 and
right,
20, it gave me the blueprint and
absolutely.
helped me get a 750 credit score and thinking about where I would be now. And so we just want to encourage young people, no matter how old you are, if you have the aspiration of being a homeowner. And it's so important to do that because we don't realize in building our communities everything that that means. You know, it
Mm,
wasn't until I started doing this work 8 years ago that I knew that property taxes paid into the school system.
mm,
So imagine in these areas, and you know when you think about it, a lot of people when they move out of the areas, what are they thinking about? They want better schools. But what if you had just been a homeowner and instead of the properties just being foreclosed on, and then now there are businesses that aren't black owned, and all of the dollars leaving our communities. That's why they look the way that they do. And so we
yeah,
really do need to be able to envision our own communities looking a lot better. You know, and I joke with Roland all the time. I like to say, hey, you know, we could build Wakanda, you know. And so just imagine that, you know, if we were able to do that. We just need to have more visionaries on board with us, on deck with us, more people that believe in the vision, that wants to see this, and certainly to engage the young people to be able to empower them to do this too. So for homeowners, like really, you got to see yourself as one and believe that that can be you first, and then you may even be inspired to be an investor.
right
And then
on.
there's people who already want to be investors. That's me. You know, I'm a homeowner and I want to be an investor. And then I also want to clear up that, you know, in the homeowner conversation, it's not always having the yard and everything because I don't have that part yet. But I do have a condo, you know, but that was me walking into home ownership, you know, so that can look different for many people. And we just want people to just come to us so that we can just walk you through all of the steps. And, you know, and then when we build these communities, just know that your commitment, your investment in becoming a homeowner, how that's going to build generational wealth, how that's going
Hmm.
to build communities, how that is going to pour into the educational resources of that community. So there's so many layers to this, and that's why we really want to focus on homeowners and then also investors. So we want you guys to look out. We're going to put in the chat the websites to go to for homeowners, and then the website to go to for when you want to invest.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's right. Oh man, I want
And
to
I,
reiterate that age piece. If you're watching this live or if you're watching this on the replay, if you are 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 years old, and you think that you are too young to do this, I want to correct your mindset right now. You are at the best age to do this
say that.
before you mess up your credit score. Okay, before you start to jack off a lot of the free income that you have, because a lot of you are still living at home, and so you're working your job, and a lot of your money is going back into your pocket. You dig what I'm saying? I already know what I'm talking about. Okay, you are in the best position to do this. All you have to do is be coachable and believe that this is something that you can do. And I say be coachable because you're in this time in your life where a lot of your juices are flowing. You know, your hormones are racing and things of nature. You got to get it. You got to get it. You got to get it. You got to get it now. And I want to implore you. I want to calm you down just a little bit and say you have an extremely long life in front of you. You have time to take a moment and get your affairs in order. And before you become a slave to rent, before you step out of Pop's house, before you step out of Mama's house, before you step out of Grandmama's house and become a slave to rent, I want to put this on your mind. Do not do that. Instead of stepping into a renting situation where you'll become a slave to this rent, before you do that, purchase your own home. Become a homeowner. If you think you're going to be wrestling with the rent and things of that nature, you might as well wrestle with the mortgage and have something that you can call your own. We're all going to, unfortunately, we're going to have these hard times in our life. And sometimes things are going to be a wrestle. Sometimes things are going to get tight. but it's better to be tight in something that you own versus being tight into something where somebody is knocking at your door, ringing your doorbell, or sending you an email and saying, hey, where is that money? At the very least, if you are doing it as a mortgage company, you know you're paying towards something that you call your own. Your name is on this, not somebody else's name. Okay, so no, you are not
And
too young. You are perfect for this.
So,
another thing I would add to that is, when we go in for that 30 year, signing for the 30 years, and we think, oh, well, I'll do the 30 years. At least I'm going to speak for myself, right? I'm going to speak for myself here. I'm not going to say anybody else. When I first signed for my condo, and I was like, well, I'll do the 30 years so I can get this slightly lower rate, but I can always pay more into the principal. But just to your point, Minister Toner, that things happen, life happens, and you're going to just struggle up to get that minimum to pay that so you can just get them off of your back, right? Now, I've been in my condo now, this August would make 15 years. Now, had I did the 15 year, I could probably, because we're going to hustle up to that minimum, so when you're hustling up, you're not paying over that. You're hustling up to what the minimum payment is, and so I just think about that like, oh God, if I'd have just done the 15 year, I'd be done, by now. And then, your kids will be, and then I was also going to mention too, when you have children, you do something like a 15 year, or at least you think about that. By the time they're out of high school, you're not worried about a mortgage, and they're going to college, and now you're thinking about tuition. And in most cases, our families have mortgage and tuition, so that was just something I thought about when you were talking about life happening, and instead of struggling and trying to pay the rent, just struggle up and get your mortgage paid, because that's usually what you're going to go for, that threshold. Just like
I want to add this, and I think that's a powerful point that you made. One of the things and the reasons why, if you're out there and you're listening to this, that you really need to think about becoming a homeowner sooner rather than later, because inflation, the recession, and the rising cost of things is going to take the cost of renting much higher than what it costs to own. And there's going to become a point at which the rent is going to become unaffordable. And so in this generation, let's say you have small children. Your children, if you don't plant the flag of home ownership and buy some investment properties and be intentional, they may be priced out of the marketplace to ever own, which is why I talk about we have to be careful in making the decision that we'll put it off, or we'll do it later, or maybe even that we won't do it at all. That we may be condemning our families to generational poverty, because it's not so much about what you're going to do in this lifetime, but it'll be directly proportional to the baton and the wealth and what you hand over to the next generation for their lifetime. Do you want to hand bills, or do you want to hand wills? See, it's hard to think about creating a will when you don't own nothing. It's hard to even think about life insurance when there's nothing of value that you created that you associate with your life. Yes, we have our children, but they're looking at what we do. Do you want the example that happens in your home, in your children's presence? Do you want that choice to not be home ownership? See, we're going to move to a place just like we were in feudal times. One of the things about America that made America and the American dream such a promise, a possibility and hope, because unlike the feudal times, people could take the dream of ownership. See, we take that concept for granted because it's been thrown around. But there was a time in feudal times when there were lords and there were serfs, that if you were a serf or you were poor, that you could never save enough to actually own the land. You had to give the majority of your living expenses to the landlord, who subsequently became essentially your lord, and you were their peasants. And so the American dream actually gave us a opportunity to move from the lower class to the middle class. And once you're at the middle class and you can start thinking about the bare minimum, now you can look up, as Les Brown says, if I can fall down, I can get up as long as I can look up. So when you're in the middle class and you're able to see, man, if I do like Ro did and I learned the cheat code, I could build $1 million portfolio. And that portfolio one day, taking into consideration what Dr. Shantae just said, can be built and can be paid for by the people who have yet to get the vision, the homeowners in transition. The government has all kinds of programs that support veterans, that support people on Section 8, so you can buy that property, and instead of your tax dollars going out the window to Uncle Sam, let Uncle Sam put some of them dollars back into your bank account and let you build up a mountain of wealth off of supporting what your tax dollars support. See, until you set up a vehicle to receive that, you may never be the beneficiary of the power of your vote, the power of your tax dollars. So I'm saying to us, set the right example. Make the choice today that you're not going to condemn your family to generational poverty, but yet you're going to be the first person to make $1 million in your family. You're going to be the first person to leave a legacy. So one of the things that all the members of my team have been challenged to do, and if you are on my team and you haven't heard this, hear it now. I want to make this, in fact, I act like this is a new challenge. I want every one of y'all that's serious about what we're doing in order to create a family crest. You can go online and design it. And I'm going to ask Dr. Shantae to put it in our group thread and to give everybody that. And I want, as an exercise, that we start there to create a shield, a crest, a family shield, a family crest, and that represents whatever you want it to represent. But it is the stake today that we're going to plant. It is the flag in the idea of generational wealth. And we're going to, as a man, you know, when I started doing my own, it made me think, damn, in order for this to extend beyond my lifetime, I have to be a better man. I have to choose an identity that allows me the ability to be me, but to represent the vision that I see for my family. Now, you may not have a pot to piss in right now, but it don't cost nothing for you to design this. So I want to challenge you out there to design your family crest. And as a man, now we got something we willing to fight for. Now we got something we willing to defend. And then we can begin to see the value in the woman that God put in our midst. Or if that woman has no value towards our ability to create generational wealth, maybe that ain't the woman for us. Or if that man lacks vision and you have a vision for the way you want to see your life turn out, then that becomes the line in the sand. Because if you're not going to follow these rules, if you're not going to uphold this flag, this crest for the family, that we trying to build,
Right.
then you're not the person that I need in my life. Two can't walk together unless they agree. So I want to challenge you to set your family crest in motion. I can't demand because everybody on my team are independent and individuals, but because we have decided to lock arms in this hour and to be an example for the family, I ask of you to create your family crest and make that family crest mean something and post it on your page. And let's begin there. And then let's help people to do it that look in. Let's be the example to build that legacy. Back to you, Shante.
What?
Oh, I didn't know if you it looked like you was having to say.
Oh no, no, got a lot of things going on in the back. I mean,
Oh, okay, but wait, I don't need you to say. Me and Kadir got this. So I want you to give Brother Kadir
I mean,
the crest. Put it in the loop.
You know, when you're talking about like with the young people, you know, when Kadir was speaking, I was thinking, yeah, the young men especially, you know, because yeah, I did think that at first.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to
Absolutely.
challenge us.
I'm with
It's
it. I'm with it.
powerful. And they
Yeah,
tell you
I'm
what
with it.
every symbol on it means. So
Mhm.
it becomes a very powerful exercise, especially as the man to say, what do I stand for? What do I want my children and my children's children to stand for? See,
Mhm.
that legacy, that flag, that declaration of financial independence and generational longevity and wealth is your
Mhm.
ticket to the afterlife. America declared their independence from England, and we went to war. We
Mhm.
went to war to bring that independence about. I think of the soldiers and the people who serve our country so that we can be free. We are the soldiers for our families, and we have to be willing to go to war in order to bring our families full circle. Who's ready to go to war to bring their family full circle? I know I
Absolutely.
am.
Absolutely.
I know I am.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So
That is
there
right.
it is.
There it is. There it is, y'all. We enjoy what we do, family. I hope you guys feel the authenticity as well as hear the authenticity of this movement. And our goal is to have you have what we have. And that first and foremost is the vision. You have to be able to see that the kingdom that we want to build is right under our feet, right under our nose, and within hands reach. It is the ground that we currently walk on, and is the people that we call family and friend. This is that kingdom, and we have to see it for what it is. We experience so much strife and so much hardship and so much trauma in our families, especially over the last few decades, with some things that have gone on, including Jim Crow, including the crack cocaine epidemic. And our people have taken some really mighty blows. And because, culture, information, and knowledge has to be transferred, a lot of the struggles, a lot of the plight, and a lot of the cultural phenomenon or paradigms that we've enjoyed over the ages is not being passed down, it's not being shared. And I'm 48, and just to give you a little context, my grandmother, who has passed recently, she she can remember having to sit on the back of the bus just because she was black or an African American. Okay, we this is a struggle, and this is a movement that we are taking part in and giving a name to, but this is not really anything new. This is ongoing, and that is complete and total freedom for our people so that we can express ourselves without any hindrance, without any blowback. We can be ourselves. We can be empowered. We can be cultural. We can be rich. We can be wealthy. We can be spiritual. And we can do that without someone having to try to take it from us or to dim our light. And that's what we're fighting for continuously. And that fight is still going on. All right. That fight is still going on, family. So with that being said, man, I am pleased to have you on this evening. Make sure you join us again next Tuesday at 7 o'clock the same time, and be ready to take that next step to flip that hood. Tony Kadir Lyons, Minister of Cultural and Spiritual Refinement. Let's get it, family.
I'm just building our posterity. 2 hands, little mama got dexterity. Give me clarity. Trying to build a foundation through these charities. I made money, my bitch, I told her marry me. Had to regrow my green, it looked like celery. I'm just flipping all these bricks without no felony. Joe is cooked up on this beat, this a recipe. I believe in myself, I invest in me. It's now or never, this my destiny. First person shooter, feel like destiny. Thermoscope, I aim steadily. Driving for dollars, I'm in Beverly. Made my own films, no academy. You my brothers and my sisters, we all family. Who tricked us into treating each other savagely? Now or never. It's now or never. Now or never. Right now I'm smoking precious. Now or never. Classic classes, this election. Now or never. PhD bars, been professor. Now or never. I dove deep in my bag, I'm talking head first. Now or never. About 5,000 is the answer. Now or never. Monday night magic dance. Now or never. Took the red pill and up my standard. Now or never. It's a rogue wave, I got you surfing. Been building this since 99, flicking and earthing. Lambo life a river dirty. Time to take our future back, nigga, no mercy. If you wanna be babe, I'll turn you to jerky. I left my ex, but it still hurt me. My heart broke, no, it's not working. Rolled up some pressure, we submerging. She grabbed my shifter and reversed it. She a practitioner, head of nursing. No, that's not my first show, I've been rehearsing. This dripping got you drowning, it's immersive. Bars make you believe in yourself, they coercive. AMS told me focus on my purpose. Know the feds watching these bars make them nervous. Kill the bitch, shimmy, yeah, I might need some hearses. It's now or never, now or never. Right now I'm smoking precious, now or never. Classic classes, this election, now or never. PhD bars, been professor, now or never. I dove deep in my bag, I'm talking head first, now or never. About 5,000 is the answer, now or never. Monday night magic dance, now or never. Took the red pill and up my standard, now or never.
Joe West.